Mute feed 1 and minimize.
The Gaia Complex. A dark future carved in bloody concrete runnels by the grasping hands of the present, clawing for the lies of the past. Players take
Close
on
feed
roles
1.
of mercs, independent
Mute
agents
and
for
minimize
hire in an
feed 2.
underground.
Fellow mercs, I have seen the future, and it has our extermination written all over it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this new document, Evolution by Design, that Hansor Industries, under its imprint, Hansor Publishing, has allowed to fall into my hands for examination. I have to say that things are about to get a whole lot darker.
Closing external feeds. Keep going. They haven't found us yet.
Okay, for real. What is Evolution by Design? As we intimated, it is a new sourcebook for the Gaia Complex by Hansor Publishing. Following on the heels of Hardware 2119, Evolution by Design fills out more things about the world that you might be curious about in a way that inspires and suggests rather than constrains and confines. It gives ideas, and they are dark and disturbing ideas indeed. There are tools for the game master, and there is, of course, gear and equipment and cyberware and missions for the players to run through. So let's talk a little bit more about what really is between the covers. Let's begin, I think, with law enforcement, where the Gaia Complex puts the idea of an overlord AI front and center. Questions begin to arise. How exactly will such an intelligence go about the business of governing and ostensibly protecting its population? Well, the answer, as it has turned out, is more and better mechanized police. Fully automated, fully interconnected, and fully committed to fulfilling the order of the law. Some might describe them as merciless and unconcerned about collateral damage. So it is of extreme importance to mercs, you and me, playing the game, that we stay out of the way of law enforcement at any cost. How do we track the attention that activities that the mercs get involved in might bring from law enforcement? Well, Evolution by Design brings this into your toolkit. The characters' actions, as things go wrong or as things need to take place in more public or more important areas, as the unfortunate twists of luck brings them into contact with different units or under the surveillance of drones or traitors. Their feeling of being chased, the heat that's on their tail, begins to rise. Now, any experienced merc will have some idea about how they can mitigate that heat, how they can cool down their trail. But here, Evolution by Design also has things to offer. So it will inform the game master about what sorts of, shall we say, infractions might increase the heat on the characters, and what kind of activities or what kind of contacts or what kind of expenditures or resources that need to be layered and leveled to help cool things down. If you're unsuccessful, your heat will rise. And the more it rises, the greater your chance of appearing on the most wanted list. And as your most wanted status begins to rise and rise, well, soon you might find yourself being the most wanted and desperate to do anything that you can to bring that heat down. So with these things before us this new way to handle the consequences of activity as a merc, the game just got a whole lot more interesting. In addition to things like new cyberware and gear and weapons, the book also supplies a lot of data seeds. And I imagine a lot of people watching this video are very fond of these data seeds and their ability to inspire and prompt and quickly help you get ready for a mission, pitting your mercs against the dangers of the Gaia Complex. One new thing that this part of the book brings in is the idea of random generation of data seeds. Using just a couple of points, rolling a couple of D12s, you can very quickly generate a mission that we could consider to be the bread and butter of merc life, the very types of jobs that would bring about a profession like the mercs in the first place. Things like abductions and missing persons, things like territorial intrusions, things like data heists. You know the drill. Very quickly being able to generate these to salt them through your growing campaign or to serve as a way to learn the game and learn the setting and get a feel for what would be normal for the merc operators is pretty cool. If you find that you like generating things this way, it'd be pretty easy to apply this to your regular campaign preparation. So in addition to all the data seeds, Evolution by Design provides you a quick and easy method for generating them on the fly. But that's not all. The book also, through its chapters, gives us a greater sense of the timeline, evolution by design. We get a feeling of how law enforcement is being developed and deployed against and because of public reaction and the steady march of technology against the steady march of threats. We have a sense of where things are strong and where things are weak. Are there enough drones to provide coverage for an area? Even if there are, can they report back to their AI overlord? Interesting questions. And how long will it be before any perceived weakness is erased, like an inexorable game of chess against the machine, leveraging one type of unit and supporting it with another, bringing something in that is unexpected to further bolster the strengths, and so on in this inexorable march forward in the timeline, giving us a lot of flexibility of where and when we want to play, what to expect, what entrenched and capable characters in the setting might be able to predict and understand about the world that they're living in. It's pretty satisfying stuff. And there's more. Just when you thought it was going to be all technology, the game also provides greater insight into the characters that we play, more information about ferals, and more information about the vampires. The vampires who have been developing their own forces in a mirror image of law enforcement and the AI. Imagine, instead of simply recruiting soldiers through domination or threat of violence, what if the vampires had found a way to, in a sense, manufacture beings somewhere between human and feral and the vampires themselves, beings who possess some of their strengths and few, if any, of their weaknesses, more than human, less than vampire. And then you realize that Evolution by Design is going to put this type of character, these chattel, in your hands to play. It is possible by fortune or misfortune that the mercs might find themselves in the clutches of the vampires and find themselves twisted and changed into chattel. And the game ceases to be one about mercs in the underground against what is, and becomes the nightmarish existence in the shadows of the vampires between themselves and their blood syndicates as they extend their claws to take over everything. All right, let's wrap this up. We've talked about a lot, and there's a lot more in the book we haven't discussed. What Evolution by Design really does is make it that little bit easier to run the Gaia Complex. And from the beginning, the Gaia Complex has been a very easy way to approach this kind of game, the dystopian future, the cyberpunk with horror setting, where life is not only cheap and dangerous, it really seems to be coming to an end unless somebody, somewhere, can do something. Evolution by Design gives us the tools to make the encroachment of the forces of law and order on our potentially Robin Hood lifestyles that little bit more exciting. Easy and quick for the game master to assess, understand, and apply pressure, and easy and quick for the players to understand what they need to do to try and get out from underneath that. And with none of it being just someone's decision that I'm going to make it harder now because it seems like the right time, and none of the arbitrariness that can rise up to spoil fun on the player side. That's huge, especially in a game that's potentially as deadly as this one. And there's more. The vampiric threat, more than just a boogeyman. Now, the potential dangers go beyond becoming an unwilling member of a blood farm or another statistic of street violence. Now, their life and loyalty is on the line. Not just food, but a soldier who cannot question. And imagine exploring that from the inside. Beyond that, we have data seeds, we have random generation of our own data seeds, we have different rules for data dealing and information brokering. The world just got that much easier to run. So I'm very much looking forward to this product moving from this kind of data module that I've managed to get my hands on and become the real physical product. And so now I have to start thinking about where on my shelves it's going to go, going from 2 volumes to 3. I guess just like the digital world, I'll have to spend a little time with a little physical defragmentation to find the space. That'll give me something to do while waiting for the book to take form and arrive. I hope you'll wait with me. So the next video in the series should be unboxing Evolution by Design. Until then, take care.